So I'm going to be making a joiner's mallet, and this is my entry for the mallet challenge hosted by the builders challenge. So I start with the low angle jack plane to basically dimension the lumber and make all the sides square, so it's much easier to make the layouts. Just make sure you have a well honed edge so that it's much easier to work with. So now I'm going to use the Japanese Ryoba saw, the Japanese pull saw, to make the cuts for the faces. So I'm actually salvaging the wood from this, from an old wooden hand plane. So I also put a taper, a 7-degree taper on the faces, or 83 depending on how you look at it. I'm just drilling a hole to make chopping the mortise much easier, because this wood is really dense and this is my first time cutting a mortise. So it's going to be half inches wide, the mortise, so I'm just using 3/8 inch bit just to give me a little extra room to work. So now I'm gonna use the chisels to chisel out the space for the mortise. So these are the Narex Richter chisels. You can even use a mortise chisel, but I guess these work fine. So I used a half-inch chisel and a quarter-inch chisel to make the cuts and make the mortise. It would have been quite handy if I had a joiner's mallet to make the joints, like cut the mortise, but I just used the brass mallet. I just want to say, having good layout lines with a marking knife and a straight edge really will help you to create better joints, as you know where to cut up to. So having good layout lines with a marking knife is essential. I'm using the Japanese Ryoba saw to quickly rip the sides of the handle, because the part where I'm going to hold it, this was a little too wide, but it's actually good because I can rip down and it'll also act like a shoulder. So when we're cutting the tenons, you'll be able to understand. But I use the Japanese Ryoba saw and it works really quickly and easily to rip down the sides. So now I'm using the Japanese Ryoba saw again, and now I'm just cutting the tenon, the part that will go in the mortise. So this will get a wedge and basically lock in and become the mallet, I guess. So the Ryoba saw just to cut the shoulders and make the tenon. And now I use a rasp to shape the tenons if it's like a bit big, because it's not going to be perfect right after the saw. So I just use a variety of files and rasps to shape it. So here I'm using a chisel just to make stopped chamfers. This serves no purpose, just for an aesthetic look. You can also use a set of files, but I used a file after doing the bulk of the material removal with a chisel, but this is just for aesthetics. Speaking of aesthetics, I thought it would be fun if I gave a shot at inlay work. So here I'm just using my saw to create a small groove so that I can put in like some inlay strips after chiseling down the space. So I use a block plane to fine tune the widths of the inlay strips, and then you can glue it in place. And then I use a flush cut saw like I'm doing right now, just to remove all the stuff that's sticking out. Make sure you have enough material, so when you either cut it off or sand it or plane it, there is no like empty spots left in the groove that you make for the inlay. So also I use a block plane just to fine tune any parts that are just sticking out. So now I'll be using a wide chisel. This is a 40 mm Narex chisel, and you can find an affiliate link to this down in the description. It'll just help to support my channel. But I'm using the wide chisel to do a majority of the shaping of this round detail. This is kind of like the shoulder, and it is also like important feature in like a vintage or old joiner's mallet, which is either like a British design or a Scottish design. So I use this to form that round detail and also form the teardrop shape of the mallet. Now I'm using a V tool to just make a R, which is R stands for Raghav. Sorry, it's in vertical. This is actually for Instagram, so you can follow me on Instagram to get more behind the scenes and live updates, because it takes a lot of time to complete the project. So on Instagram you guys could see more real time and live updates. So this is completely optional, however, but I just thought it would be a cool detail to add, and I really wanted to try using a V tool, so I just added that. Now I'm using a 220 grit sanding sponge to do a majority of the final sanding on the handle. Now I'm using a block plane to add chamfers all over the mallet, because this is a tool that will receive a lot of impact, so it's like a striking tool. There is a chance that it might like splinter off and break, so the chamfers prevent it from like chipping and preventive from a lot of damage. So, and also the chamfers look quite nice, so you can even use a sanding machine to like add chamfers, but a block plane leaves a much nicer finish. Now we're going to be adding some slots in the tenon so that we can add in a wedge to secure the handle to the head. So I'll just drill a small hole so that like the wedge can, I guess, like not split, but like so it doesn't split, and it can the wedge can be driven in further for a more secure hold. But make sure you don't drive it in too far, otherwise the handle will split and then it'll basically become pointless. So I just use the saw down a split to the drill hole. A table saw would be perfect for this, but then I just make the slots and add in a wedge. And now I'm gonna put glue all over the tenon. Make sure there's glue everywhere. Like in here, just put as much glue as you can fit without it becoming too like messy. So once I add in the glue, I add glue on the tenons and the slots as well as the wedges, and then I just pound them in gently, making sure not to split the handle. After sanding everything up to 150 grit, I was so excited to polish this. So I used water-based polyurethane diluted. So you can use a rag or a brush to apply that. And then after that, I put on paste wax. So the paste wax gives a really nice satin and smooth finish. So sometimes when you want something to be extra durable, but like a tool handle, so then instead of boiled linseed oil, I would put polyurethane, like water-based polyurethane, and apply paste wax on top of that. That is also a phenomenal finish. So since this is a mallet, it would be getting a lot of abuse, so I thought that it could do well with the extra durability from the polyurethane.